in 3 years from now, as you prepare for free agency in 2017, where is the franchise going to be located?
I expect it'll be right here in St. Louis. I don't see any reason that can't be so. Everything we do is always focused on getting better and growing the fan base here, and I think you've been part of that. You were at the event at Rams Park on Friday night as part of the St. Louis Sports Trivia. You were there with the St. Patrick Center. There's no reason to hold events like the St. Patrick Center Sports Trivia Night at Rams Park on Friday night if you're thinking about anything else except trying to grow the fan base here. And it was a fantastic event. We got a lot of people through the building. Everything we do as an organization is focused on growing our fan base. And I think if you look at our track record over the past few years, it's hard to point to anything aside from the stadium noise that indicates that we aren't doing everything possible to make this a better fan experience, a better football team, and a better emotional experience for our fans. I understand the noise. I get that. But at the same time, you'd be hard-pressed to point to any of our actions here that would challenge that.
I agree with that, and I've mentioned that many times on the show. Number two, what should we then take out of Stan Kroenke's land purchase in Los Angeles?
I think the commissioner said it best. Stan is, a real estate person. He buys land all the time. He owns land throughout the country. He's one of the largest landowners in the U.S., and I think this was bought in the course of his normal business. That being said, obviously the mere mention of Southern California raises eyebrows, but no one, worries that he's building a stadium in some of his other Southern California interests or that land. I know no one speculated on him buying land in Montana for a stadium. Right. I think Bernie mentioned it in passing. And I recognize this one, touches a nerve a little bit different, but Stan has the right, to run his business outside of the Rams however he sees fit. I think when you look at it, the commissioner said it best. Stan does these things on, an annual basis, on a daily basis. That's part of his business. Everything that the commissioner sees is on our focus on St. Louis and trying to grow the fan base and trying to win here. So I think you're trying to put 1 and 1 together to get 3 is a stretch. Again, until there's clarity in the stadium situation, everything's, going to raise stress levels, raise paranoia. I think all of that makes perfect sense. And you would want that. You don't want apathy, towards these things. But at the same time, I think it's different than if you had an owner who wasn't in the real estate business buying land.
Right.
That's a departure from their normal daily behavior. I promise you, Stan is looking at lots of pieces of land around the world right now, and none of them are for football stadiums.
Any of them in St. Louis?
It's a good question.
Great question.
A great question. Thankfully, he doesn't discuss his real estate business with me on a daily basis because I know nothing.